Hey, I'm Scott and I'm an American in Bangkok. And I got a letter. This guy writes, Dear Scott, I have recently left Thailand after 3 years of teaching there to move to Italy. During my time in Thailand, the teacher's visa, non-B, have become progressively stricter in requirements and harder to obtain. This year, that's since April 2016 when I got my last non-B, along with all the documents I previously required, I needed my original degree certificate, not a photocopy, my degree notarized by the embassy of my country in Bangkok, my degree again authenticated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Chiang Mai, the same process for my deed poll as I have a different surname to that on my degree certificate, and proof of address and letter from the owner of rented accommodation along with all their documents if they are a foreigner. None of these things I require to teach in Italy, simply my passport as an EU citizen. My question is, do you think the ever-tightening visa requirements for teachers, along with the stagnant salaries and increasing living costs, will deter teachers and ultimately cause long-term implications to Thailand, especially as visas are easier to obtain and salaries are often higher in other countries like Vietnam? Love your channel. Keep up the good work. James. In a word, yes. I do think that, the salaries are one issue. And the cost of living is going up, and it has been rising slowly but surely here. And I think that the Thai government's headed in the right direction because they are making it more difficult for people to teach. I believe I know what they want to accomplish, which is they want to have accredited, good, solid teachers. If they're going to be a foreigner, then they need to be capable of teaching English, because if you think about it, Thais don't seem to speak any better English now than, say, 10 years ago. Maybe a little bit better, yeah, but not a whole lot better as a whole. So I think what they're trying to do is move in a direction where the teachers are qualified and truly qualified, not just some guy coming over going, I want to teach, let me do that. Now, they when they made it a law to that the degree was necessary in order to teach and to get a work permit, that was one step in the right direction. And I think that in testing the teachers, which has been that's been thrown around recently, I think that's another step in the right direction. However, in order to get qualified people who truly want to be here, you have to pay them a fair wage. And for somebody to make 30,000 baht here, who's a foreigner who can make double or triple that working in Japan or in Korea or Taiwan or Italy, they're not going to get the foreigners who are the most qualified. Now, that's my opinion. One thing to consider is that people love Thailand, so they will come here for less money. But these requirements that they need, they don't seem exceedingly harsh. They just seem like, hey, if you want to teach here, you got to be qualified. And we want to make sure that you are who you are. Everything's legit. There is no more of us buying a phony certificate from Khao San Road, at least not that I know of. So as far as the long-term implications, I don't know about that, because Thais want Thais to teach English to their students, or whatever the student might be, whether they're a kid or they're an adult or whatever. They want other Thais to teach English. Now, I don't think that that's possible at this point. Maybe 10 years down the line, maybe 20 years down the line, maybe I can see that happening. So I think it's a very touchy situation. It's a fine line. You want to make it difficult for people who are unqualified to come in and teach because it doesn't do a whole lot of good. But yet, if you're going to have qualified people in, you're going to have to pay more money, and the money may not be there. I personally think that the money is there, and it needs to be a priority. But do I think there's going to be long-term implications? Yeah, not really long-term, probably medium-term. In the long term, I think Thailand is going to either get its people to speak English, and it's going to help the country overall, or they're just going to keep going doing what they're going to do, which is what they're doing now. They're just going to keep going along, and they think they're going to get better and think they're going to get better. And another thing is that the students, a lot of times, the students just don't care enough to want to learn. And I'll be honest, my kids, although they speak English, they don't speak English to the level that I'm happy with. Will they in the future? I think so, because they'll spend more time in the United States. But do they speak perfect English now? No, definitely not. Does my wife? More importantly, because they're students, okay, they're growing up, yeah, they speak better English than my wife does. But does my wife speak great English? Well, we speak in English, and rarely do we ever have a problem in communicating. We never speak in Thai with one another. She speaks English at her job, and she has very few problems, but she's not perfect, and she knows it, and my kids will joke with her and razz her because they think that she needs to improve her English. So if she is fairly fluent and speaks pretty good English, and my kids are giving her a hard time, what does that say? Okay, so, I think that this is something that the Thai government is going to start cracking down on a lot of areas. Eventually, the bars, they're probably going to go, or they're going to go underground or whatever, the prostitution scene. I think eventually that kind of thing is going to happen. It's just, now I could be wrong. Who knows? But anyway, that's all I got. I just figured I'd throw my 2 cents in on this subject. Until next time, let's see here. Well, please click like. Please, I just got a message here. Hey, man, please help. I always get these please, can you help me? Yeah. Please click like. Please leave a comment. Please share. Let me know what it's about a girl I met from Thailand. I just got this message here. Pops up. Let's see here. Go to my Patreon page. That's Patreon, patreon.com/Scott Mallon. I'll have the link up in the description. Go to my book site, theycallmefarang.com. I have a new book coming out. Ask me, asking anything. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke me.